snuck in here.
Is he under the desk?
He's under the desk. Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
If only. I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Play
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been on there. Yeah, it's a good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Is he in an electric car? That's what's happening with him?
In.
Oh, no. Oh, well, serves him right then.
Electrified America.
So, really?
He is unabashed. Do I need this?
Yeah. It's welcome back, everybody. It's Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. My name is Jay Ryan. The lady to my right is Nicole Ryan, and we are sitting here this evening with one of our favorite guests of all time. She doesn't come around nearly often enough, but there she is. Kelley Blue Book's own. KelleyBlueBook.com's own.
Lyn Woodward.
Lyn Woodward's own.
Woodward.
Lyn Woodward.
Lyn Woodward. There.
1 N, 2 underscores.
That's right. How do you remember that?
How do I forget?
Remember that?
I'm so happy to see you. It's been a million years.
Good to see you both. Thank you for having me.
Always.
What's
I
shaking?
love it. What's shaking?
It's been a long time, and here's
Yeah,
what I
it's been
do
a while.
remember. Here's what I know, and we'll just let the audience in on the inside scoop.
Yeah. Inside info.
It was April, and you and Emmy Hall were supposed to be here together.
Oh.
And our cat got sick and
Oh,
took a
that's
week to
right.
die.
Oh, kitty.
We held in there to the very last minute with her.
That's right.
So that, I think we canceled some shows because of that.
It's
And then
okay.
we went on a whirlwind trip around the country.
That looked so amazing. How did the car hold up?
Great.
No problems?
Yeah. It was hard for us. The car had no
You guys
issues.
had a harder time than the car did. Of
Don't-
course.
Don't you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I was-
issues with the car.
Honestly, every once in a while, as I would look at pictures, I would honestly look at your face to see if I could tell, like in your little videos, to see if I could tell just how sick of being in that seat you were.
Her or me or both?
Just her.
I love that seat.
You did?
It's better than I get to travel and see things that go by me all the time.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Do you have, what seats do you have in that car? Do you have, is it just the stock seats or do you have special?
No, they are they're the upgraded stock seats.
So they're the sport
seats.
buckets. Okay.
Correct.
Good.
But
Those
we
are
don't
good.
care. That's what everyone says. We don't.
No,
like,
those are the best seats.
Why do you say that?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that as well, but
Just
why are you saying
is.
it?
I don't know. I mean, if I could put any seats in every single car that I had, it would be Porsche sport buckets.
For real?
Not the carbon ones,
Right.
not the like ones that are like and you can't do anything about it, but the adjustable ones.
Yeah.
They're supportive, but you are sitting in them. You're not sitting on them.
It's true.
You can
You're
kind
selling
of
me on it.
relate to that distinction. Yeah, but they bolster you. They're not too big. Like everyone's proportions are different, and so ergonomically, a lot of seats don't fit me all that well because they're too big, and so you're sort of sloppy. I've never had a problem in Porsche seats.
The sport buckets you can make narrower or wider, which is
Bolsters adjust. It's nice. That and Genesis, the original GV70 seats, I thought were great because those were terrific because you could set them so they would know kind of how and where you were driving. So if you made a sharp turn, this bolster would kind of go.
Oh, they were active. This has the active ones.
Huggy
too, yeah.
huggies. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't need the active
Do
ones.
we need- that's
but
where I go. Do we need all of that?
No, I mean, yeah, why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not. We want to
gonna
switch them out
drive-
because they're not great for us. We
Oh.
don't like them and haven't liked them since we got the car.
The ones that I really like, so the last, God, how long has it been since I've reviewed a Porsche? Not that long. I mean, so it was the 718 Cayman that I reviewed, and I was like, these seats, I don't know what, I'm assuming it was just the regular sport bucket seats that were in there. Fabulous.
Yeah, I think for most people they probably would be fabulous because you can do whatever.
Could
with
have
them.
done a long road trips in those.
We're a little more sport oriented, so and she's a little handy capable. I don't know if you've
That's
noticed.
right.
You've noticed.
I have.
So what we're looking to do is switch into like a pole position, something like that, that has the lateral support for her.
Oh, okay. Could you do one seat in one position and then one seat for the driver and then a different seat for the passenger, or do you have
Certainly could, but I can't imagine why we'd want to do
buy
that.
two at the same time?
You're not the only one who's asked that.
I just wonder if it's like eggs. You can't just buy two.
No, you can buy. Well, I don't know if you. I don't know if it's like eggs, but you can buy as many seats as you want.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
That was a fun ride.
Right? How did we get on this so fast? Suddenly
dive
we're
in.
deep diving into seats. Oh,
Well, you asked about the
if
comfort.
it was comfortable.
And the truth is, being in the car is the easiest part of that trip for both of us.
Yeah.
Driving
Oh, I
around
bet
in
that.
the car, doing miles was
Yeah.
the easiest
I
part
bet.
for us.
I bet.
Yep.
Getting in and out of the car, hotels, bathrooms at hotels that
Peop-
claim to be
people.
ADA accessible and they're
Oh,
just not.
not.
You
That
know?
aren't.
No.
No. Write that shit up.
Every time, 30 days in a row. Like, come on, who's got the time?
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
But you're right. I mean, I should. You're totally right.
Nah, maybe you'll get some like free Chevron bathroom stickers out of it.
Ooh, Chevron bathroom stickers. I'm gonna hold out for the daisies.
Totally worth it.
Not doing
the
a thing.
Price is Rights, as I called them as a kid.
Oh, that's right.
Whatever your grandmothers would say, those flower things, they always look like the Price is Right stars to me.
Totally. I like those decals.
We
That
are,
show.
we're all over the
We
place. This
really
is good.
are.
You want to talk
Okay.
about Recaro seats, or would you like to talk about bathroom stickies? For
This
not-
is
for
the show.
for
This
slip.
is the show for you. Both
Man, have you
topics.
dialed up on a good night?
A wide array of topics.
I feel that
Yeah.
you can talk about anything.
I could talk about anything. I did just have I went on this really great trip, and I can talk about it now because the embargo lifted yesterday.
Perfect timing.
Was on the Nissan Z Nismo drive,
Mhm.
which was up at, I always want to call it Sears Point, but
Yeah, I
it's
do
not.
too. It's
Sonoma.
Sonoma Raceway.
Sonoma Raceway, we call it the official, what it is now. Everything except for Laguna Seca, because I never know who owns that at any given moment, so it's always just Laguna Seca.
They'll all be the original names to me and a lot of people forever.
Yeah. So it was awesome, and somehow I ended up being on the wave of super cool people, which never happens.
We should say there were a lot of people that
There
we know
were
at
a
this
lot
event.
of
A lot of
super-
faces at this event.
A lot of super cool people. But I happened to be on the wave of like super, super cool people. So I get to the airport, and I'd been a little bit delayed, but not by much. And I go outside, the guy who's the Nissan rep who's there to pick me up, and he's like, I'm really sorry. He's like, we have to wait for one other person, and his plane is going to be delayed by like 15 minutes, and my gut instinct is just to be like, I'm so inconvenienced. I can't believe this. My free ride up to Carneros is ruined. And you just because you're tired and you're just like, you want to be cranky. And the guy literally follows that up with, well, the good thing is it's Cody Walker. And I was like, Cody, yay!
No big deal.
Yay! And it
Let me
was
just check my phone for
really
15 minutes. I'll be
funny.
fine.
It was so sweet because we get to, his plane gets in and we drive up and we get curbside, and the guy had arranged it so it was perfect. Everyone knows how to navigate their way from the outside to the curb. It's good. Cody opens the door and his face just lights up when he sees me, and he's like, you! He's like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And we spent the next hour plus on the drive up to Sonoma, just like check.
Oh, that's the greatest.
And it was so nice. And from that, it was just
Neither one of you knew you would be sharing a ride?
No.
And it just worked out?
we had no idea, and I hadn't seen him since SEMA, maybe 2020, 2021, SEMA 2021. And
Lock it
so
in.
we just were like la 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 talking the whole time. And then I get there, and it's like Sean Lee is on this wave, and Busy is on this wave.
That's the picture I
and
saw of you four
all
together.
these people, and I was like, how did I score this invite? Because normally I'm like,
It's right where you're supposed to be.
auto journo wave, not like cool influencer. There were these two lady drifters. I was like, I didn't catch their names, but they were badass chicks. I was just like, oh, wow, I rank. It was awesome.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I
It
feel
was-
like you're right where
It
you're
was
supposed
really
to be.
cool. And then, of course, driving the car, which is super fun. I love that track. It's so good.
What config did you do? What was the configuration you guys did?
Oh,
Did you turn right down the hill, or did you go all the way to the end? There's so many different
there's
configurations
a lot
with
of
that
different.
back end once you're on the other side of the hill.
But it was so you go around the carousel, and then you've got like another little bump, and then you've got the double apex on, and I don't know it well enough to know.
That tells me that you went all the way to the double
on
carousel.
turn the double apex.
Yeah.
We got that in, yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you.
But the last time I did that track was in the rain for the Golf Type R. So this was so much nicer because it was sunny and beautiful.
It's a faster car too. I mean,
The Z.
yeah.
or
How
the
was
R?
the Nismo? No, the Nismo is faster than the
Nismo.
Golf R.
Yeah, honestly, they did a lot of good stuff to it.
Okay.
So there's this, obviously no manual transmission. I know that people are like, "Rah." But it's a track car.
Is that how you are?
Like, people get really
No,
upset.
not anymore.
People get really upset, but then they don't buy it. And I'm like, well, what do you think? Do you think honestly that a huge company like Nissan is going to put all this time, all this money, all this effort into it, and then be like, yeah, but we're just going to really screw people over who really want the manual? If they had done research that said, you know what? Yes, we want a manual. Then they would have sold. Like, these companies want to make money. This is what the business is. So the fact that people are like griping and moaning.
And
Just like
groping.
groping.
I heard.
That was
Are people groping?
That was griping and moaning together. Groping. You heard it here, folks. I'm making up words. So I didn't mind. Honestly, this is a track-focused car. If anyone on the planet can shift as fast as an automatic shifter, show me.
I know.
If it's about lap times, which this car is supposed to be about lap times,
Yeah.
then great. So I didn't mind it. They retuned the transmission, so the shifts were a lot quicker. The gears were super long and fabulous, and honestly, like, I loved it. And you've got the paddles, like, that gives you all the power
Listen to
in your
you.
fingers.
Oh, come on. I know.
Listen, I drove a manual.
She's trying to make it nice for everybody.
I drove a manual until I was 36 years old. And then at some point you're like, oh, why am I doing this? Because I
know.
live in LA traffic. And you can still do that for fun. But the point is, I don't know also, I'm not 100% sure that the manual transmission that Nissan has could handle the torque, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
yeah.
so I think there were definitely cost-cutting moves in it because they wanted it still to be a fairly reasonable price point. It's $65,000, so it's not super reasonable price point.
For a track car, I guess it is.
For a track car, it is. They don't have adaptive dampers on it, which could be a little bit of a for some people also.
Is the idea there that if you're going to make it a track car, people will then switch out the suspension?
Well, here's the deal. I think what their plan is like, if you're buying the base Z, that's because you are going to modify it yourself.
Right.
You're going to do all those things. The Z Performance is sort of the next level of stuff, which adds a few things and tweaks a few things, but it doesn't take you to the next level, which is that sport plus things are really kind of just plussed out even more. But they have it in the Nismo. So they've got the next level of
Plus.
Well, it's a Sport Plus, but it's just sport. It's just sport in the Z Performance.
Right.
So, but this one, for all intents and purposes, doesn't need any modifications. You should just be able to take it on the track. They've got better tires on it. They've got better brakes on it. They've got, they've done the transmission. They've got better aero on it. So there's a lot of different things that make it I mean, honestly, we drove the Z Performance and then the Z Nismo side by side, night and day.
Really?
Yeah.
I drove speaking of Sean Lee, I drove Sean Lee's personal Z when he first got it. Manual.
Oh.
It's a manual car.
Yeah.
But I drove it when it was stock, before he built it how it is today. And I was very impressed with what they had done for the price point, with all the things they offered. I'm a driver. It made it feel like they put a lot of new stuff in an old car instead of the other way around.
Yep.
So I liked it. But I'm thinking that this new one might not be for me because of all the stuff I like in the in
You
the
can
regular.
push it so much harder, though. Like, you can really drive it so much harder.
So the
which is
conversation really
great.
becomes: are you going to drive it in the canyons or on the track?
Yeah,
Right? Is that what
and
it
you
comes
can
down
drive
to?
it in the. You can absolutely drive it in the canyon. So we did a track portion of the day, and then they sent us out into a bunch of windy roads. Perfectly fine, fun time. It was not too. It was not too tracky. Certainly, I mean they don't adjust the suspension, so the suspension feel is the same from Sport to Sport Plus. So that does not change at all. So
Oh.
your ride comfort is still. It's still pretty compliant.
That's interesting.
It's still really comfortable, and it's because
What's it changing? Shift points and throttle response and
shift
stuff like
points, throttle response. Yeah, so it's not like, oh, it's going to rattle your teeth and be like really aggressive. But they did that because also they know that if a lot of people, this is going to be their only car. This is also, it has to be a daily driver for them.
Right.
And then you start putting, adaptive dampers on it. It makes it ridiculously expensive. So, I don't know. I think it's a win. I mean,
Awesome.
honestly, I think for what it is and who's going to buy it, it's great.
Is it limited? Are there only a certain
I
amount,
don't
or are they just
think
making them
so.
as many as you want to buy?
I don't think so. I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
I may be wrong. It may be, but I don't think so. Limited
Sometimes
to
it helps,
however many
sometimes it
people
hurts.
buy it,
Right, yeah, exactly.
which is hopefully a lot for them.
Well, that's
knows?
good. I feel like the car itself is a win for them. Just having that platform out there is a win for them. I like it a
100%.
lot.
I do too. I thought it was a good move for them. I think there are so many of manufacturers that had history in motorsports that have just kind of walked away from it. And when they're now that they're kind of coming back a little bit, Toyota with the GR Corolla, it's great, super smart.
Love that car.
Love that car.
You've driven it too?
Oh,
What do you
I would
think?
own that car if I could.
I would too.
That car is just the bee's knees.
But when I think of when I was a kid, a 3-cylinder was like a Geo Metro or something
know,
like that,
right?
and I wouldn't have had that. I wouldn't have said, "Oh, I'll have one of those."
Oh, how times have changed? It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved everything about that car.
Those are hard to come by. Do you
Well-
think this Nismo will be hard to come by too?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I have an opinion on that. I don't know if you're going to get a dealer markup the way you are with the
More, right? Wouldn't it be
GR
even more?
Corolla? Maybe.
Oh, I meant more than like the regular Z. The Zs were getting markups when they first came out too.
Then I'm assuming this one will too, which
Gotta.
is ridiculous.
It is. You don't like that?
No.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Come on.
What about
how much
car
are we
flipping
gonna
and all
get
that?
fleased?
Because somebody's making the money one way or the other. So it's
Oh,
like
those
the
guys who
flippers
flip.
or do the dealers.
No, I say we just resist those people. Don't buy something for more. Those guys that just they buy it and then they expect to make even more than they did with the dealer markup. Not cool.
But it works. That's the the problem is it does work. People do
People
buy
are
it.
desperate.
Yeah.
They're not also fiscally responsible.
Okay. All right. I like
Maybe they
that.
don't have to be, but I do. I couldn't afford that.
The thing is, they do end up making money. It does work, so it is fiscally responsible.
Do
It just
they?
might not be socially or morally
Do
responsible.
they make more money? So they buy the car new. They're gonna have the dealer markup because they're
I
not
can't
like
speak for everybody,
family
but
and
yes,
friends. And then they
oftentimes.
slap it on Bring a Trailer. Do they get more? Like how much more? $5,000?
I don't
$2,000?
know. I think a couple
50
years ago
cents?
it was probably a lot. I think nowadays the manufacturers are trying to crack down.
Good.
May I say
It's like the IRS, dude. Did you just hear this? The IRS is now going after people who resell concert tickets.
No.
If they make more than $600. $600. Come on. No one's getting
That's
rich.
a lot for
on-
a concert ticket.
That's hilarious.
Right, but if it's like a Beyonce ticket or a Taylor Swift ticket,
That's thousands of dollars.
You could probably, if you had like a $200 floor seat or whatever, it's probably way
You could
more
probably
than
make
that.
25 grand if you're doing it that way.
You could make 25 grand, right? So, okay, so you're lucky enough. I just feel like, okay, that's not an enterprise. That's one person selling a ticket. Come on. Surely there are billionaires to go after here.
Well, I agree there.
Right?
Yeah. Shouldn't we be
Take
cracking
their
down on
cash.
monopolies instead of
Their cash.
Craigslist ticket
Don't
scalpers?
take StubHub, folks.
StubHub.
I don't know. I don't know. Everyone wants a slice of everyone wants your money. And how easy is it to take your money now? Like,
Oh, it's too
you
easy.
literally like go boop boop, and they're like ding.
I've done it by accident. I've paid things twice by accident
Oh.
because you boop boop.
So easy. My mom just the other day, she was like, "Oh, I need to get some cash." I'm like, "What the heck do you need
Are you gonna
cash for?"
Tip the gardener?
No
Like
one
what's it
uses
for?
cash anymore. I don't know.
Tipping is the only thing I can think
She
of.
just
Tipping.
loves having the cash in the wallet. Old school,
having the
it's just
cash
old
on the wallet.
school, you know. That's what you're used to. You have cash, and that's how you
It used
get
to be a confidence thing. Like if you had a wad of money, like if you're going on stage,
Oh.
put a wad of money on your
Status.
pocket because you then feel more. Yeah, well, no one else knows it, but
Just
you change.
Oh, elevates your game.
Yeah, I don't know that it's true or not, but there was somebody who used to do that.
And I've never had an elevated game because I've always been cash poor. I'm the person who's like, oh, I don't have any cash.
Did I at one point hear Mike interject there? Did you chime in, buddy?
Yeah, I have a friend who she put 5,000 kilometers on her Bronco and then sold it for 22,500 more than she bought it for.
The IRS ought to be going after her. I'm just
This
kidding.
is in the last 6 months.
Wow. I mean,
Wow.
I know people who literally who ordered them, who when they showed up at the dealers were like, "I will give you $10,000 to leave this here."
To not take it. Yep.
My goodness, good
I
for
mean,
your
you had-
friend. I mean,
you-
she got some fun out of it.
I think we might have talked about this last time you were here. He had a Bronco on order for like a year. He finally got it. He loves it.
Oh,
Everything's
good.
great with it. But didn't they make you some offers like that as well to walk away? I know they upped your selling price, which is
And then
bullshit.
they
Excuse me.
made me sign a paper saying that I wouldn't sell it within the first 6 months. And then they told me told me, okay, they won't go after you if you sell it in Canada. If you sell it to someone in the States, though, they're going to come after you.
That's illegal.
I don't
They
know.
can't.
I
It's
don't know.
yours. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yes, but remember Ford bolstered up their lawyer team with that Ford GT thing, where there was some whole thing
Still-
about selling the Ford
still
GT, and
illegal.
then somebody did.
John Cena.
Yeah, you remember that.
Still illegal.
Well, but if they
can't-
put it into a contract and you sign it, it doesn't matter if it's illegal. You agreed to the terms, right?
I feel like you could get a really good lawyer and you could wiggle out of that.
Okay. All
Because
right.
that's not. I mean, that's your property.
Yeah.
They can't really dictate whether you sell it or don't sell
If
it.
you sign the contract, then you made an agreement.
Yeah,
I
but
think
once
that's
you
the
buy
idea.
it and the money exchanges.
If you want to go back on your word,
right?
sure. But if you signed the contract and agreed to whatever the thing
Oh my
is,
gosh, we
I'm
could
not
have,
going
we
to
could
sell
have this
the.
conversations about student loan forgiveness too. Oh snap!
Should we talk about abortion? Let's just talk about it.
This is a new spin. Politics, late night unfun
Yeah,
politics.
what everybody wants. And then religion tomorrow night,
Yes.
and then on Thursday we'll be talking about money.
Yes.
Your personal
All the
finances.
things. No, listen, I agree with you. If you make an agreement with someone, you make an agreement with someone. But to me, that's kind of crappy that Ford would do that. I mean, listen, they're already
But isn't that the-
not selling it to people that they don't want to sell it to.
Their reason for doing that was to crack down on what you don't like, which is the car flippers.
Right, but
So
they-
it was supposed to, it seems like it was intended to be a good thing.
But they've also already cherry-picked the people that they will sell it to. Not just any
Ooh.
person out there can buy it.
I didn't
You
factor
have
that
to be
in.
invited to buy that stuff. So if they're inviting you, then they should know, okay, we feel comfortable with this person. They're a fan of the brand. They love the car, whatever else. To saddle the owner with that on top of it, because that's obviously it's a very expensive car. What if someone's fortunes change?
I
in
think
6
you're
months to a
right,
year.
and that probably that person might not be gone after. But John
Right.
Cena, the famous movie wrestler, actor guy, who has the funds and probably isn't hurting, decided to sell it. I don't know if he didn't like it. I don't know if he
Whatever
decided he
happened
wanted to
with
buck
that?
the system.
Did he get away with it?
I don't know if anybody knows. Let's find out.
I
Mike,
don't
do you know?
Does anyone know?
It's a Ford situation.
Yeah, I thought there was. He did get away with it, but I forget how.
There was a
some
little
sort of-
litigation, right?
Yeah, there was a settlement and there was an agreement that was made to make it all okay.
They
Okay.
made an agreement about the agreement.
So we call that settled in the business. And
Uh-huh.
somehow it's settled out of
That's
court.
right, out of court.
Okay.
Both parties were happy
Can't
with
discuss
that.
it.
You
Yeah,
can't
can't-
discuss
you'll
it.
never
That's
know.
just an NDA
It's none of our
thing.
business.
Who knows? All I know is I can't afford either one of those cars.
Yeah, the flipping thing bugs me
So
though.
there.
The flipping thing does bug me, but I don't know. I mean, it's a business like anything else. It's a business, right?
Capitalism,
That's
baby.
it. Yeah.
Supply and demand. If someone wants it and there's not many of them, then they'll pay what they pay, which is great.
If you've got the thing they want.
Yeah. If you've got the money and you're willing to pay it, more power to you.
I guess.
Yeah, I just don't have the money. And the reason why, I mean, there are cars that I would love to have that I'm just priced out of. I can't afford them. So that's fine. I have Monteros instead.
I love your Montero.
Sorry, Montero. I only have one.
I love your Montero.
I love my Montero too.
Is that your one car now?
No, I still have the Jetta wagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is also very cool. I just got a Good Vibes sticker for it in the green room.
Oh, good. Yes,
Very
this
excited. So
wonderful selection of stickers.
That means I have to drive it up to Good Vibes, though.
It does.
In order for it to earn the sticker.
Got the
properly.
red.
Yes.
Hey, can
Needs
I,
to earn it.
while you're here, can I
Yeah.
both tell a quick story and
Please.
also get your take on something?
Yes.
This is it's Good Vibes related.
Only if it's
something
about
that happened.
politics, religion, or I'm just kidding.
You know Johnny Lieberman.
I do.
All right, so this is not Johnny Lieberman. Oh shit! I was going to not use any names.
Oh,
Well, he was just there. He's not even involved. He's not even involved. He was just there.
Okay.
But, so Good Vibes. You've
Yes.
been. You know what it's like.
I know the deal.
Make sure
Yes.
Nicole's in this shot here. So we're all here together. Okay.
Hi.
And you know what? For the hell of it, let's see if we can't bring Mike in here too, just because I think I might
There's
know.
a seat for him.
I
right
might know how to
here.
do that. Oh,
Whoa, split
well, then
screen.
Nicole's out of video. Oh, hang on, I got it. Hang on, one more time. Try it again.
We're gonna reduce you. There you go.
Almost there. Ready?
Yeah, Nicole, we just need to. Oh, there we go. Yes. Oh, that's so perfect. Okay,
Whee!
good. Everybody is present and accounted for.
We have the technology. Okay, so
We're done.
you have been up to Breakfast Club, and
Yes,
you
I
know
have.
what it's like.
Yes.
And this has nothing to do with Breakfast Club, more on the lines of the roads up in Angeles Crest in the forest area.
Okay.
So we were at Breakfast Club the other day, and I was having a conversation about we were having a conversation about something else with Johnny Lieberman, and there was a bunch of other people around, and somebody came up, and I kind of thought they were joking, and they said, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And it was somebody else, and this is where we won't do names.
Okay.
Person A says, "Oh, do you know person B? Because I just followed them up here, and that was some of the worst driving I've ever seen in my life," and person A was very upset about it.
Okay.
To the point where I actually thought it was kind of a joke. I thought, oh, these guys all know each other. They're doing a little put-on
That's
thing.
what I thought too.
I was like, oh, you know this guy? Oh, this guy's an asshole. Oh, you're an asshole. Ah!
What a shit
Until
driver.
way later.
Okay.
So I guess we were wrong.
Okay.
This was a legitimate gripe. Not a
Okay.
grope. Not a grope.
But a moan and
gripe.
a gripe. A groan. A
And
grope.
the issue was with person B's driving style. Now, again, no names.
Okay.
Person B does have a reputation for a certain driving style. As far as I know, person B...
to get names after.
Happily. As far as I know, person B has never caused an accident or actually heard, but I have definitely heard from other people that, oh, be careful for the way they drive.
Okay.
All the people are very nice. They're up at Good Vibes. They're good,
Love them.
nice, happy people
They're
for the most
nothing
part.
but good vibes, right? Okay.
But so this day, person A, who technically I would say, I'm not a judge here, but I would say is probably in the right for saying, hey, you
Okay.
probably should, drive more like the rest of it. Respect the crest, let's
Sure.
keep it on the side of the yellows and stuff like
Did
that.
they address this person directly?
They did, and the person
Okay.
apologized.
Great.
Person B apologized.
Great.
But person A was already heated up about it. And this is where I say,
Oh. Okay.
so choose which action you think is better or worse, because I don't know here.
Yeah.
So person A is, in mine, and I think most people's opinion, probably in the right
Okay.
with what they're saying.
Sure.
But now we get into how we're saying it.
Yes.
This isn't maybe the way to handle it.
Yes.
I'm not saying I know what the way is.
Yeah.
But it didn't work this day, and then that person got really upset. Person A got really upset, and then took it to social media, and hey, what's up with person B, and then posted person B's Instagram
Oh,
and pictures, and this guy, I've talked to
no.
everybody, this guy drives like shit, and all of this stuff.
No.
Well, I know, but he's also feels he's in the right because he's saying, why do people stand for this? He brought this up in front of me and other people, and we were like, I don't know what you want. We were in the middle of another thing here. We're up
Yeah.
here for another reason. I'm not here to police people. This isn't an event. Everybody's welcome.
I think I do have some thoughts about stuff like this. I think it's really easy to get self-righteous quite quickly and to see all the wrong things that someone else is doing and point those out more so than it is to look at ourselves and what we ourselves are doing. I think when it comes to what other people are doing, and we can keep this as driving if we want to, not a problem. I think if you see someone who's being dangerous or being reckless, and you know the person, and you are able to go and say, hey, by the way, just so you're aware, I had this impression of how you were driving. It looked a little bit dangerous to me for this reason and this reason and this reason. There are other people up here doing it in a correct and proper way. If person B, from what you said, was apologetic and was like, oh my gosh, my bad.
Well, I don't know everything that happened.
Okay.
I just know that there was an apology in my presence.
Okay. Okay. Well,
There may have been other things said too. I don't know.
Sure, that's something. I think if that's the way that it's handled, then that's terrific. The problem is most of the time things are not handled that way. Everyone's emotions are kind of up here. Person A has been stewing behind person B for a long time, getting annoyed, getting irritated. What that person A should have done is pull over, let person B go and do whatever, hang out down here for 10 minutes, just do their own thing. We can't control what other people do. Right? We can make suggestions. We can say, hey, this may be dangerous to you, to someone else. This is a sort of a perilous thing that we're doing here. But at the end of the day, person A is not responsible for the actions or the behaviors of person B. All we can control is ourselves, our reaction to things, our effort about things. And so unfortunately, when you get to that place where you're just running these super high emotions, you're not thinking really clearly. And then when you're kind of airing out dirty laundry, it's a really tricky situation because what have you done that someone else could air? And so it's one of those glass
None of us are perfect.
It's one of those glass house situations. It's like you better be really careful what you say online about other people because you are certainly not perfect, and someone else could come along and say something equally, if not way worse, about something that you may or may not have done in the past. So I think that's I think it's a really tricky situation. I also, though, think that we are not encouraged or taught how to confront other people anymore.
Right.
People
You're right.
get so incendiary and so worked up so quickly. I don't want to be wrong, and how dare you, suggest I'm doing something wrong? Or it's the other side of the coin. I know I'm right about this, but what does that get you? What does being right get you? What currency does that have? It really, because how do you think someone else is going to react if you're like, well, I'm right about this and you're wrong? That is completely
I think whatever the currency is, it's a young person's currency.
Sure, but they're going to find out really quickly that doesn't certainly curry favor with anybody. They're not going to win people over. If you're just angry and you're just, sort of telling someone else what they're doing wrong, that's no way to win an argument.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I should again say that both of these people, as far as I know, are very nice.
And person
Good
A
people.
may very well have been correct in saying whatever it was that they were saying, or in the assessment of the crazy driving of person B.
I really think whatever it was totally legitimate. It just comes down to how you're going to handle it. And it was
It's
one of
all
those
about
where
that.
I could see that there were a lot of, there was some adrenaline going on. There was a lot of, so what
You're
happened was
driving fast, of course. That's
person A is coming down the hill. We
Okay.
waved at person A as we passed them.
Okay.
Because they were leaving as we were arriving.
Okay.
And I guess at some point behind us, they passed person B.
Okay.
And something there was an altercation that was enough that had person A turn around and come back up, and now following person B down, now witnessing they didn't like the one thing, now they don't like anything. Now they brought, like you said, Fester brought it with them up to the top. Now it's let's rally the troops time and have a fucking war about.
Yeah, that's never going to work in your favor.
Well,
you gotta
not with a bunch of people who are up at Good Vibes who are up there to avoid.
Well, especially
this shit.
good vibes. Hi, it's in the title. There's a listen.
That's what somebody shouted out. Good vibes.
There's a way to do it, and then there's a way not to do it. And the way to do it is to remove yourself from the emotion of it, because when you're trying to deal with something emotionally, it's very rarely going to come out well or how you think
Not
it's
clean.
going to come
Not as
out.
clean as
It's
you
not
think it will.
clean. If you can be mental about something and state your case, and someone else is going to react however they react. Maybe they're in a bad mood. You got to be able to read the situation too.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of an art being good at confronting people or saying, hey, by the way, I'm not sure if you were aware of this. However, you know, blah, 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 blah. And we've lost that art form because I think we're so terrified of it that people just don't do it anymore. Or when
saying a
they
lot of good
do
shit
do it,
here.
it's like people go from zero to like red-faced, like instantly. And you're like, whoa, this clearly has nothing to do with me and what I just said to you, but we're just in this like tinderbox moment right now. It's crazy.
Well, tact seems to, forgive me for just jumping right in, tact seems to have gone out the window
Out the
completely. So
window.
therefore, people they feel like they're getting attacked or
Attacked.
punched or bombarded immediately by
Totally.
whatever the criticism, critique, maybe even a helpful fucking note
Totally.
might take.
Totally.
So
So
is it,
to
it's
me,
both sides that are the problem.
It's both sides. But A is even more responsible because A has to be in control of themselves. They are the ones that are initiating the whole thing. So it's incumbent on them to take a step back. I'm not saying don't talk to the person, but maybe just don't talk to the person right that second.
Yeah.
If you are feeling that boiled up inside and you're like, "Arr," like they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that and then it may be a good idea to just sort of de-escalate yourself because again, that's just never gonna end well. You're already starting off here.
Yeah, there's
Like,
nowhere to go.
That's crazy. There's nowhere to go. He obviously wasn't calm. He turned. I don't know if it was a he or she. Person A.
Right, they.
Turned around so much so, like this was so in their
It
head.
was whatever the grievance was, it was legitimate enough that they felt the need to turn around for
Totally.
someone else's safety. Now, they were doing all of this under the guise of, oh, that's not cool, it's not safe, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to
Yeah, but if
it's hard
then
to not get on board with that.
Of course. But if then after that they're airing out dirty laundry and taking it to social media and trying to get someone else either like canceled or saying this person is bad and everyone should hate this person and jump on board and I don't think that's correct. Again, I wouldn't do that because I'm just like, oh, people could say so many things about all the
For
things
sure.
I do wrong and who am I to do that to this person? I can say my piece, and if they respond or they don't respond, then it's on them. You know?
I grew up with that. Don't throw people in glass houses. Don't throw stones. That whole thing.
Honestly, it's a good one.
All of those old ones that our grandparents used to say are great. We just thought they were dumb when we were young. Now we need them again.
And now we kind of go, oh, that's kind of smart.
Every day.
Because we're not perfect. I mean, listen, I probably did 10 things just coming from my house to here that someone could be like, oh my gosh,
I'm
she
going to tweet
did
about
this.
this. I'm going to X
know?
about this.
So
What do you do now?
I don't tweet. You know, I got on.
I don't tweet either.
I
but
got on
do you
it
still,
and
do you
then-
X now? I'm going to go X. Go
This
drop
is
an X.
Weird. I'm going to drop an X. Sounds like number 1, number 2, or
Or an X.
No, a long time ago I said I'm going to do one of those things, like the social media, and I started on Facebook, and then when Instagram came along, I was like, all right, fine, I'll do 2 of them. And now I really don't Facebook at all. I just am on it just to sort of see when I've missed all my friends' birthdays. But Instagram, and then I tried to dabble in the this and the that. I'm just like, I don't have the bandwidth for that.
Same here. I'll start the TikTok or whatever, but then I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. We had
too much.
Do you know Sean Winograd? He's a car
No.
producer. He's very good friends with our mutual friend Lyn Powell. Works with him sometimes.
Love us some Derek Lane Powell.
He worked on Wheeler Dealers, Top Gear. He's a
Okay, he's
good
a-
producer. But
he's
he
a
was
thing.
here earlier today, and we were talking about it. And he has one video on TikTok of one of the guys doing a donut at the track on a go-kart or something like that.
It's a good video. That's all you need. Just
Well,
one.
3.5 million views and like 30,000 followers off of one thing that he put up there and
Shut
forgot about.
Up. Yeah, no, I don't have that.
This was the conversation. This was on the heels of the conversation about how you can put all this effort and thought into content and, I'm going to make it beautiful and thought out and everything. And the stuff that hits is,
I love
my
it.
phone fell out of the car. Ah!
So I used to work in advertising, and then how many times and maybe you got this a little bit in PR. How many times did a client come to you and be like, we need something that's going to go viral?
Oh,
Every day.
And I'm like, people, you really clearly don't understand the meaning of something going viral. It's not something you can manufacture. It just happens.
They don't get it.
So no.
that was what people thought PR was, and it's like,
That's your job.
Yeah,
no.
you get me viral.
It's like, no, step back.
Yeah.
Do what you like to do.
Yes.
And maybe people will be attracted to that.
And maybe they won't.
And go in knowing that.
That's
And
right.
that's fun.
That's right.
That's the nice thing about YouTube and the internet is you'll find your weirdos as long as you just
Oh,
put
yeah,
something
totally.
out there that's authentic,
Totally.
good, bad, or otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. But I used to always get such a kick out of that. I'd be like, that's funny. Ha ha ha. It's not happening. I mean, maybe if you approve something that's good,
Yeah.
if you just keep telling me to make the logo bigger and you approve the crap scripts, then yeah, no, that's not happening.
I was in advertising too for a spell. I loved
So
the
too.
work.
Yeah.
I loved the work. I fucking loved the work. From coming up with a campaign to
Yeah.
doing layout. I loved it all.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, all of that work, 100% of it has a client attached.
Yeah.
That's the nature of it.
They pay them bills.
I'm not good with that.
No.
Because they conflict with my creative process over
That's
here.
right. That's if you had a good account person, then they would shield you.
Keep you off their back.
from
Keep them
that-
off your back.
From that kind of stuff and be able to push back on clients and only like
You need a good Pete Campbell.
you do.
You need a good Pete Campbell.
You do. Someone who's a meat shield for you, basically, who can say, listen, I pushed back, but we're going to have to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Because
they
it'll
wanted
work.
to do this, and this. And I got them to say, oh, no, okay. But yeah. So this is really funny. And for all of you viewers out there, it was hilarious because I worked the last thing that I worked on was Hardee's. It's a food chain, a fast food chain
Of
that's
course.
associated
Yeah.
with Carl's Jr.
They used to be so different, and now they're just the same. But don't get me started.
No, listen,
I'm a
if
big
you-
Days of Thunder fan, so I love the Hardee's.
It's all really low humor, like really low, gross, booby girls and gross things. And I can't believe I worked on that account for as long as I did, but I did because I love the people that I worked with. But so biscuits were a big thing, and this are a big thing in the South. And so I don't even know how we did this, but Hardee's came up with a new product called biscuit holes, kind of like donut
I remember this,
holes,
yeah.
but they were biscuit holes,
remember the
and they
commercial
came
for
with
it.
icing. And someone just sent it to me. It was a comparison, like a blind taste test between a donut hole and a biscuit hole, except we called them the A holes and the B holes. And the people were doing a taste test, and they're like, I really don't like the A holes. They taste funny. I prefer a B hole. It's real nice. Yeah, I mean, it was just
Oh
like,
my
oh my
gosh.
gosh. And I'm watching this, and I'm internally like dying. Like, first of all, I can't believe I'm actually associated with this thing.
This is my
like
campaign.
so crazy. This is part of my legacy. And second of all, like, how the fuck did I get our client to say yes to that? I'm a genius. Like, what?
gosh.
So I have these conflicting things in my mind. Like, oh, I'm completely contributing to the complete demise of the planet, and yet I'm really proud of myself for somehow managing to sell a creative where people are like, I guess I'm just a b-hole kind of guy.
Have we never talked about this? Did you work for a firm? For an agency?
Yeah, I worked for a lot of them.
Okay.
So my last gig though was with a company called Mendelssohn Zion, and they were just here. I worked at Chiat Day for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
They hated me. I was so uncool. I'm not a cool
You're
person.
so not a Chiat Day
I'm
person.
not a Chiat Day person, and
They're really uptight.
Yeah, no, it's like Wyden Kennedy. I remember. It's old
right.
school.
Like if you're not there like 19 hours a day, you're taking a half day. And I was like, that's not me, people. Sorry. Don't you think balance is important? They're like, balance? What are you talking about? Work. So I was like, yeah, this isn't good.
This sounds like when you switch from one firm to that big corporate firm where all of a
Yes.
sudden they wanted you
Yeah.
there for every staff meeting and everything.
Yeah.
It used to be,
Some
used to be
movie came
handling
up.
stuff out in the field.
some woman came up. She used to print her emails, and she came up to me holding emails, and she's like, "We didn't talk about this." I'm like, "That's from 3 days ago."
Do you know how many emails they've been
gone
sent?
back and forth so many times.
Yeah. No, thank you, lady hanging on to your 3-day-old emails.
Yeah, that's right. We need to talk about
Has
that.
she been
And have you seen
Has
this?
she been thinking about that for 3 days? Like, have you been sleeping at all?
can't wait to talk to Nicole about her
I
TPS
need
reports.
to.
I've been traveling it on planes. I didn't even know what you were talking
I
about.
bet you anything that boss was also the kind of boss that was like, whose fault is this?
Oh, because I need somebody to
I
blame.
need to blame somebody.
I bet.
Whose is this? Why did you do this? Oy. Yeah, advertising was fun. So I worked at a place called, I worked at my best
Did you get to
gig.
do any creative stuff? What were you doing?
No, I was an account.
You were an account person.
I was an account monkey.
Oh, man. All right.
I was good at it too. I liked it. I really enjoyed it
I'll
because
take the accountant over the agency producer, who would be my...
I wanted to be an agency producer because, again, I loved the creative work. But then by the time I decided...
My experience, they're not generally very skilled on the creative work.
No?
Nope,
Oh, see,
they
but I
all
would
They all want to be!
get that done.
Oh.
Like, look at them. It's like, no, you're
No,
not.
that's not what you do.
Use this director. No, I mean, I because I was a writer though, but I never wanted to write copy. So I would always be like, okay, I think that's pretty good, but like I feel like this maybe. What about this? Or
The people who are good at writing copy are the ones who don't want to do it. So you
Yeah.
probably were quite good at it.
And then I just
Do you write your own copy for your stuff now?
I write everything for what I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you are good at it.
I mean, at the time, but listen, I wanted to be a writer and I never thought I was smart enough until I actually started doing it. And so then you're like, oh, okay. Like,
Well, that's
I guess
interesting.
I am smart enough. So that's cool.
What was holding you back? Just the confidence?
Yeah, I think just that I built it up so much in my head. I wanted to do this since I was 14 years old. And then you just were like, oh, being a writer, that sounds so glamorous. That sounds so, like, important. And,
It did.
right? It just
Yeah,
sounded
why did
like
it see
so
that? Our generation was definitely set up to believe that, like, writing, if you could make a living as a writer,
Well,
you
because
got
you were
it
an
made.
authority on something, you were an expert, and you had enough confidence in what you were saying that you were willing to put your voice out there to be heard by many. And so, to me, I was like, oh, I don't know enough about anything to do that. I'm not an expert on anything. And after I got out of grad school, because I have an MFA in creative writing. After I got out of grad school, I was like, I have nothing to write about. I have nothing to talk about. All I've done is be in school. I haven't lived any life. So I got into advertising, and a family friend worked at an agency up in San Francisco. He ran J. Walter Thompson, and he let me talk to everybody. I went to the media people, and I was like, oh, this is not for me.
Oh, go around the company and see who you
I
align
did
with.
informational interviews with everybody, and I thought producing would be interesting and would be really cool. But then for whatever reason, I just thought account management would be kind of cool because it would teach me about business and it would teach me kind of how to communicate better with people. And I really learned that. I mean, you learn like how you talk to a client is so different than how you talk to a creative team.
Yep.
Right? You have to use your words so perfectly, and it's not a manipulative thing, or it's not but it's kind of managing people a little bit.
Managing is a good word.
Reading energy and responding
Yes.
intellectually to whatever the situation is.
But somehow in a way where you are allowing only the correct information through and not any of the sub-ancillary non-information.
Right.
Because otherwise they'll pick up on that.
And so you're able, your job is to kind of discriminate between what's important and what's not important, and then sort of go to this person and say it in a way that they will want to hear it, and they will positively respond to it, and then come back with their feedback to this person who speaks a completely different language, but still do it in such a way that is, convincing.
And if you can make them think it's their idea, you've won.
That's magical.
You have won.
The greatest line, one of the greatest lines in any movie ever made is My Big Fat Greek Wedding, when the mom is like, the men are the head, but the woman is the neck. And she can turn the head any way she wants.
Ooh.
Love that. And I've
Ooh.
always, I I mean, I do that all the time, and I not to be manipulative, but I think you just have to know your you have to know your audience. And if your audience is someone who loves to feel like they're in charge, I don't ever feel like I don't have the need to feel like I'm in charge. I'm okay being the person behind the person. And so if someone else wants the sunshine, I'm so happy to give that to them if that makes them, respond or sort of excel. So I'm good.
bloom.
I'm good with that. Yeah. So for me, it's just like, oh, that was such a great idea you had. And it's so interesting because sometimes people will be like, that wasn't my idea. You thought of it. And those are the people where I'm just like, oh, you're paying attention.
You watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So yeah, advertising was so funny. That's how, that Derek Lane Powell and I have these we probably should have met 15 years ago because we were in the same circles, working for the same companies, the same directors,
You guys
working
act
with
like
them.
you've been friends for 15 years, have you not?
Well, we probably should have been. So that's why, we were just making up for it. Yeah.
No, but how long have you been friends? Not that long?
Oh, Derek, how long have we been friends?
You seem like such close friends that I would have assumed it was like a lifetime type of thing.
No.
We grew up together.
Just one of those things where you could just kind of connect with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Probably 2017.
That's more recent than I expected.
Yeah.
Wow.
But crazy thing, he went to college at the same time my younger brother did. Same place. Bucknell of all that's a tiny little school.
The
Pennsylvania.
Ohio one?
No, Pennsylvania. Teeny tiny.
That's really small.
Derek Lane Powell and I were meant to be friends. We were just meant to know each other. We were meant to meet 100%. He's just one of those people where you meet them and you're like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've met you before. Yeah, I'm glad we're being reacquainted. Derek is 100% that person.
Another life.
Some karmic thing. The first time I ever met him, we met at Travel Town in Griffith Park because he was going to take me to go to lunch. It was the first time we met in person.
This is the coolest. He even chose an awesome place.
Chose an awesome place, right?
It's amazing.
And he picked me up. We were in the GT4, and I get in the car, and we're not sitting there for more than 2 minutes, and he's like, "Are you wearing Chanel Allure?"
Oh my goodness gracious.
Who are you? What dude asks that question?
Ombre for men.
That's right. I love that episode. So good. But yeah, it was just one of those things where we've just been sort of lockstep for a while.
Oh man.
And the funny thing is when I first saw his Facebook page because we had a lot of friends in common, and it said he went to Bucknell. I sent him a friend request that he never answered, and I was like, I do not rank. I am not good enough. I can't. I'm sad. This.
Is he on Facebook actively?
He was. This was back in 2017
okay, sure.
when this is before all the other things came along. And so he ignored the friend request. And it wasn't until our friend Johnny Lieberman and Camisa were doing a head-to-head, and they had one of those 80s, a white 1980s limo. It was it a Cadillac limo or a Lincoln limo?
Probably. Town car, yeah.
It was a limousine. I mean, this.
No, but they stretched those town cars to make them, yeah.
This thing was a pile of jet, but they needed someone to drive as their chauffeur. And Scott Evans was not available. And so they needed someone else. And they knew that Derek was a driver, and so they brought Derek on, and Derek was doing figure eights in this thing.
He was your precision driver?
He was the precision driver in this limo. I wasn't there at the shoot, but I watched the episode. And people were commenting, and Johnny got so, in a fluff because we were all saying, Derek's amazing, Derek Lane Powell this, and and Johnny's like,
he's like, what about the video?
The fuck? How does everyone know Derek? And I answered that question. I was like, Derek went to Bucknell with my brother. He responded to my friend request after that in 30 seconds after he read that. And then boom, the rest is history.
So you had to dupe him into friendship.
I totally did.
Not even dupe him, but you had to
show my
highlight
creds.
it.
I needed to show how we were connected, But it's funny because I always do the same thing. I don't friend just anybody on Facebook. I have to know you. I have to have met you in person,
Me too, or else no way.
No dice. Anyone on obviously public on Instagram, so whatever anything goes. But Facebook is personal, and so if I'd have lunch with you, then we can be friends. But if I don't know
that much, not even just meeting you at a thing. And
no, I don't have. Yeah, I need to have.
People
I need
to be
like you.
chattier on Facebook and want you to be expected.
Oh, that's how I am with the cell number. I don't give the cell number out because I don't like text messages, and most people like to text you all the time.
Who
and
gives
I don't
out their
wanna...
phone number?
Oh,
no,
okay,
that's
same
only
thing.
friends.
All right, it's another level.
No, that's next level. No,
But it's not because I don't want them to have it or because I'm so special. We don't have a life where I can be, how's it going? Well, what are you doing? Oh, yeah.
No one should have a life like
I got the new iPhone too. Wasn't it
No
great?
one should have a life like that. So anyway, I would have done the
Sorry.
same thing. Had Derek friended me and I had not known him, I would have shined him on too.
So if anything, it actually raised his cred because it's more how you would have.
100%. 100%.
The best.
But Derek,
you are meant for each other.
So Derek is one of those people, and I don't know, maybe you all know this person. Like every friend that Derek ever meets, he brings them along with them. He's just like this magnet, and he's like, "Come into my circle." I went to a birthday party that
That's
he had at his house, and I'm sitting down on the couch, and I'm like, there's fucking over 100 people here. Like, how does he know this many people? My birthday
and keep
party,
them all in the air and active.
My birthday party, there'd be 5 people there. And I'm sitting down on the couch.
I'd get
with
overwhelmed
someone.
at inviting everybody and just not have a party.
I'd be like, I can't. I'm sitting down with this person, and I asked him, I'm like, how did you meet Derek? Well, we were at a gas station once on the way to Buttonwillow, and we
racing.
But they didn't like.
They just met at the gas station.
They met at the gas. This other person was not going to Buttonwillow. They just met at the gas station. And
he's so
struck up
stinking
a
likable.
conversation, and we started talking, and that was 8 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And I'm just like, I would first of all turn away from that person. I would lock myself in my car. I would pretend I was on the phone so I wouldn't have to talk to that person. So maybe he's the opposite of what I am, and that's why we're so close. So funny. It's crazy.
I think it's all hilarious, but he is a super nice guy.
The best.
Like, if somebody did say, "Oh, what year is your blah blah blah," like he would be nice and sit there and talk to them for 15 minutes
100%.
anyway because he's that guy.
100%. And so many of my friends who are not in the car world I've always thought this was pretty funny. They're like, oh, if I posted a picture of Derek and I, they'd be like, oh, you and your husband are
Yeah, what a cute couple.
so cute.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, uh-huh. So cute. We're so cute. We're such a cute couple.
I'm pretty sure
So
the
funny.
time we met him was at some event where you guys were coupling up for the purposes of the event. Yeah.
Of course.
I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was? There's so many.
Could have been
anything.
anything. Could have been anything.
Anything coming up? Where won't you be this weekend?
I won't be at Rennsport.
We probably won't either.
Get out of here.
Won't see you there.
We will be the only 2 people not there.
Mm-hmm. And her.
I love that. I love that. The only two cars that won't be there. You know what I mean.
Her laughing is my favorite thing in the world. So I will say anything as stupid as it needs to be to make her laugh.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
That was a good one.
I was thinking of it, and then I thought, do I want to just be up there around Porsche people all weekend? It's a lot.
Too much?
It's a lot.
I do get overwhelmed at any large events.
Yeah.
And when they are single, like a Lufka cult, like I love Lufka cult. The first few were amazing. It's so overwhelming now.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
And it's not like I'm famous or anything, but I still want to do like the sunglasses and ball cap thing just to like sneak around and get through it because I get so overwhelmed by the people.
I feel like my problem is I have such envy because I can't afford any of those cars.
There's that.
That all I want to do is be like, how come you have 3 of these and I don't have 1 of them? That seems unfair.
Is that how the logic works?
To me,
good.
yes.
That's good.
No, I mean,
is there any car that you would take money out of the equation, whatever? Yeah. What would you buy right now?
a 912E. Probably.
Oh, really? An old car? You'd get an old car?
Yeah, I'm an old car person.
That was the most hated Porsche there was until now when it's getting so much love, the 912E.
I know.
The 1976.
That's it. 1 year.
Accordion bumpers.
That's it.
Still the 4-cylinder engine.
Yes.
Tanner Faust has one.
Because no one loved, because it was unloved.
Unloved. Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, but here's the thing, because it's a 911 body, right? So it looks good, but it's, kind of a bit more wimpy on the inside.
Yeah, but not, I mean,
It still drives, from what I've heard, drives great.
none of those old cars have a shit ton of pep. It's more about how they handle and how you can just keep the pedal down and go in
Yeah.
the corners. So the
Slow car
912 is
fast.
actually better for that.
Slow car fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'd take a 356 too, but I love
love a
I love
356
those
coupe.
early 911s are just
Short
dope.
wheelbase.
Dope. So cute. I love. But even those are
All
getting
right.
way too expensive. It's hard to find them.
Yeah, I'll
So
say.
yeah. And plus I don't really have the cash right now. So
No, but what would,
what would I buy?
if you could. Now, what about something new? Is there anything new?
GR Corolla.
Yeah, that's my answer too, I think.
Yeah. It kind of
I don't
is a
like the
de-
new GTI, and the GR Corolla takes that slot for me now.
I don't like the GTI. I don't like the R either.
Yeah,
The Type R, they just they overdid it.
yeah,
Now it's no fun,
yeah.
But the GR Corolla, at
I
least,
don't like all the buttons.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
the interior is so. I'm convinced that whoever designed that interior didn't drive while doing
Mm-hmm.
their interior stuff. They didn't try and drive and work the touchscreen at the same time.
It was designed on a computer screen and never done in real
Yeah,
world because you can't use it.
They were in a vacuum because there's nowhere to rest your hand to touch it, so you're bouncing all over the place. The buttons are like, I think, super small. So if you go to touch one and you bounce, you're touching something else. And
Well,
then
they're
it's
haptic
like,
too. You don't even need to push it. You just need to kind of glance over it.
I did not enjoy my experience. I'll say that.
Same here. And unfortunately, it took me away from the driving experience, which is what that car is literally built for.
Yeah, but I think they overdid it. They over tweaked everything. They made everything really kind of perfect, and they did everything almost too much that now they took the fun out of it.
Yeah.
You kind of always expected it to get a little bit squirrely and a little bit kooky, but not anymore. But that GR Corolla, and not the Nismo. I would just do the Circuit Edition.
Circuit Edition, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I would take a base one. I don't care. But the Circuit Edition is where it's
right?
at.
Totally. Because then you could still put stuff in it, and it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's so stupid because it's a weird looking car. Nobody would get, why do you like that car? Like if I showed her and I was like, listen, I want to get one of these. She would be like, I don't get it. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Like this has got to be a joke.
Yeah, no joke.
When you said I want to buy the new M3 or whatever the heck
Sure.
car, all these the 911 whatever, she was always on board. That one she would never.
Yeah. So good. Have you ridden in it? Oh,
No.
you'd like it. It's a Corolla.
I know, it's so bizarre. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Remember that?
Yes.
That was the campaign. Speaking of
the jumping up and down.
Yep.
I remember that campaign, and that's what I grew up riding in.
Toyotas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you have what did your parents have?
My dad had a blue, I think, Corolla that the handle was falling off. And the maroon, it was longer, but it was like a combo of two cars. It wasn't a wagon, but it wasn't a... Shoot.
They made like a weird Corolla wagon back then. Remember that? That was kind of, it was
like
square
the
box.
Cressida?
I'm thinking it was that or the Corolla. There was a Corolla,
The Corolla
wagon.
wagon, yeah.
Might have been
They could have
that.
both had different generations Corolla.
Yeah.
All I know is I spelled Chinese soup in it. It smelled for years.
Oh, well, what kind? Wonton soup shouldn't be too bad, right?
Oh, no, I just...
Oh, egg drop? Oh, was it egg drop? Oh, no!
Oh, for years. And that changed that. It was so bad.
Oh, I'm surprised your parents kept you. That's
So was I.
bad.
I was so afraid. It smelled so bad.
Yeah, that's
That's
awful.
so unfortunate.
That's awful.
That's super unfortunate. My mom had a Corolla, had the SR5 Corolla. It was a 77. So it was it was manual. Everything was back then, but with a hatchback.
Was it 5 or 4-speed?
It's 5-speed.
Sweet.
So good.
Sweet ride.
I learned how to drive on that car. But I learned from the right seat, so I was shifting with my left hand.
Ooh,
so,
getting ready for Euro.
So now when I go to England, it's all good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this
Because the pedals are in the
feels
same place.
natural.
It's only the left hand. Ooh.
Yep. It's crazy. Everything happens for a reason, guys.
It's interesting how we get socialized.
Right?
It's never how you think it would be.
Never. It's so funny.
Our buddy Mike up in Canada is got to hit the road in just a few minutes, but I wanted to check in with you, buddy. How have things been? How are you? Who's your guest on the Letterman podcast this week? And I wanted to very quickly congratulate you on your guest last week, who was Mr. Dick Cavett.
What?
Pretty cool on the Letterman podcast.
Yeah, that was a dream come true. That was an absolute surreal 90 minutes, and it's going to happen afterwards, too. It turns out the guy actually likes me, and or it looks like we're going to be...
Of course he does.
Which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, this week I've got 3 in the can. I think Joanna Jordan, who she
Talent booker
for 10 years, and then she went out
She knows
and
her.
started Central Talent Booking. So we recorded today. I think she's going to go out this Friday, and then I've got 2 more in the can as well. John Philo, who was a long time still photographer for CBS, and of course he covered Letterman's time. So I've got him and Steve Mazon, good friend of all of us.
Oh, a friend of this show. We love Steve
Yes,
Mazon.
sir. Yes, sir. So lots of good stuff.
When you worked with her, was she on... Oh, sorry, but when you worked with her, was she on Letterman or with the Central Talent Booking?
both.
Oh, both. Wow.
There you
Sorry.
go. I must admit, though, through this conversation, I am feeling particularly vulnerable right now. We're showing Under the Armor right now because 45 minutes ago, 45 minutes before the show began, I did send Lyn Woodward a Facebook friend request. So, closure on that.
Well, I'll accept
Gonna
that
get it out
one
there.
because I know you. I'd have lunch with you. Especially you dress up like that. You look great.
Outstanding. I'll take it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm really happy to be doing this with you guys again, though. And Lyn is one of my very favorite guests in the world when she is on the last time, if you'll remember, Jay, you and Lyn switched spots, and Lyn got.
Oh, that was the best show that that was the best shit this show's ever been without me at the desk.
Yeah.
You were here. That was so fun.
That's the only time it's happened.
That's the best show it's ever been.
Well,
You should do it permanently.
No, that's fake. That's fake. I don't believe that. That
No.
was so funny.
I had a
That
blast. I
was
just got to
fun.
sit over there and hold this and just cut the cameras, and you did it all. I
I
loved
thought
it.
you were on a calculator this whole time.
I was adding up everything you're going to make for this appearance
All
tonight.
right, my
A
sponsors.
lot of zeros. They're just all in the front.
They're all here. Oh, they're all in the front.
Sorry.
It's all right. Still no Porsche.
Hey, Mike up there is a finance guy. Maybe he can work some magic.
Listen, there's no magic to be had. That's fine. You just got to save your ducats.
Yeah, but he's Canadian, so maybe we can work something in the
nice
in
job.
the conversion.
I have
rate
a bathroom I have to remodel first.
there before you go visit
Then
Canada.
then a Porsche.
GR Corolla is what you said for new cars.
Yeah.
That's what you would take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
It's
have to agree with you.
practical, but it's so much fun and it's not super expensive. Again, I'm looking at what I could potentially afford right now.
Yeah.
Is that like the perfect car? No, but I don't think any car is really perfect. I've never thought that.
Things are
I'm-
good for a purpose.
Yeah.
That's when things are strong.
I've always been that kid who needed to have a whole fleet.
Right.
Because I'd be like, oh, I like how the front end of that looks, but I don't. What's happening on the back end of that? Or I don't like there's this bit that I love, but there's this bit that I don't love. So I've always been the kid who was like, yeah, I need to have a bunch of cars to satisfy all the different bits that I like.
I find that when you get good at things, you need something like a tool that is specialized towards that. Like in your first learning guitar, any cheap, shitty guitar will do. But as you get better at the guitar, you end up
Yes.
needing to get a better guitar to do those good things that you're now learning. So when you get good at anything, it's like you need a specialized thing for that, which is why I think some of our friends have the off-road vehicles that they go camping
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
stuff, the overlanding and all that.
Yeah.
Some of us build canyon cars that are really
Yeah.
not great in town or other places, but are just incredibly good in the canyon.
Yeah.
Sport purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe purpose built is
Purpose-built.
is the future because
For
I'm not
sure.
into this one car to do it all. Like I do kind of like that when it's an
tough.
old car, but every Tesla or every modern car, you just push a button and it's soft, it's hard, it's fast,
But
it's
that's
slow.
your utility car. That's your appliance car. That's the car that gets you to work and back, and that's purpose. That's purpose built as well.
Then it doesn't need to be the fastest car on the road
No.
or the whatever, blah, blah, blah for
Nope.
me.
Yep.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so I don't like the one car to do it all. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
have gull wing doors and fart.
But wow, how fancy if it did.
It does. They all do. What a year. What a time we
I have
live.
to ask. Okay, so the guys, and it's always BMW drivers, the guys who drive around constantly in like track mode or like sport mode, just to hear that, I'm like, why?
Burble tune.
No one likes that. No one wants to hear how
I
loud
literally
that is.
asked an older guy the other day, like someone drove away and had a delayed pop, and I'm like, why do people do that? Does it benefit anything? And he's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So
he didn't get it.
I don't get it still.
I mean, I've
Some they make them sound like
the sound
machine
is
gun fire.
the sound is kind of. I mean, it's good, but it's all like. I mean, it's kind of all artificial sound anyway.
Mhm.
So it's
It
just a
is.
big swinging tick thing, and they don't even have big ones. I don't get it because it's not pleasing. Do you think there's some woman out there who's like, oh, I want to get in that car? Like that sounds great. I'm gonna have to wear earplugs the whole time.
She's got exhaust envy.
Seriously, I don't get it.
I don't think so.
Especially when it's at like 1 o'clock in the morning, right on my street or the street that's next to mine, where people decide it's a drag strip.
Are you like us, where you're not actually near the freeway, but late at night when those guys are going by, you may as well be right next to the freeway?
I can't hear the freeway. I'm not, but I am close to a very main drag in
Oh, yeah,
the San Fernando Valley.
Yep.
And
Oh, they race up and down that one all the time too, late at night.
I mean,
Light to light.
there's literally been times when I've walked out there because I'm convinced that the same person has come back, and I'm like, I'm ready to write down license plates, motherfuckers. But they didn't come back. I'm terrible. I want to set up cameras and just pop people.
I
for
can totally envision you,
Can you?
going outside in a robe.
robe and
then
slippers, baby.
Totally running down
Like,
by
"Rrr," yelling at clouds. I'm
But when
that
did we get
woman.
old? When did we become those? We used to be the ones out there doing it.
I never did that.
Well, I didn't do
Because
that
I was always
either.
like, you guys, it's too loud. Everyone's
No.
going to wake everybody
You're
up.
disturbing the peace.
That's why you're
quiet.
like this now, but you're like the
I'm so
You're
nervous.
totally right.
Do you consider
you're
it?
like the bewitched neighbor, whatever her name is, who knows everything.
Oh, in everybody's business.
Oh, yeah. No, I just, remember we were talking about the self-righteousness. I have plenty of self-righteousness in myself when someone's driving loud or being disrespectful, and I'm like, are you the only person on this planet?
Yeah, I get that
Because I
too.
don't think so. But again, you call someone out for that stuff, and they're going to look at you and be like, well, what do you do wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, plenty.
How perfect are you?
No, not at all.
No.
No, it's terrible. So it's a slippery slope. But when I'm tired, you wake me up, I get mad.
That's funny. So is it fatigue? Because you're describing something. That's when my ugly side shows
Oh.
too. It's when I'm so tired and I'm at the end of my rope of like a whatever the fuck, and
Yep.
it's one more thing.
That or hungry.
Oh, that one. I'm not terrible with the hangry. You get hangry.
Angry.
You get hangry.
It's not pretty.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's not pretty.
But it's a thing that you can see in people, and it's like, just fucking eat something.
Just low blood sugar. You got to, for those of us who have that, you got to carry it around a little snacky snack in your bag.
Keep a Cliff Bar. Or
You got to
something.
keep it in your
People are
bag.
learning slowly. I'm
Yeah.
seeing more things food being carried and brought,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. But I do a lot of apologizing too. So if I snap, if I do something, I have no problem owning that and being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. That was super embarrassing, and I feel like an idiot."
I have gotten better at that because I've needed to.
Yeah. We all need to. Again, if the premise is none of us is perfect, then at some point we're gonna mess up. And so it's okay to be like, sorry, I'm really sorry.
My bad.
Here's my humanity in full display.
That goes so far to own it
Totally.
and acknowledge whatever the situation
Totally.
was, it makes everyone forget.
Well, the funny thing is, I love that you said that, because the funny thing is we're so reluctant to apologize because our pride or whatever.
Ego, right?
And ego, pride, whatever it is, that sense of like, well, this is me, and I don't want to be wrong,
I don't wanna
because
be wrong.
no one, like, we're being told that being wrong is like this terrible thing. And yet the funny thing is how much, like, the rest of society will pretty much open up their arms to you if you show that, if you
Show that
say,
side.
you know what, I screwed up, I'm sorry, I did it for this and this reason, they're not good reasons. And none of that, well, I made a mistake. No, you just made a choice, and the choice happened to be a crappy choice, but that's fine. At least you own it. I
It's
look
the
at
vulnerability of
it's
being
the
willing to go
vulnerability.
there.
And it's the copping to it. It's the admitting it. All these guys, when the steroids thing was a huge deal, and it was like Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and Roger Clemens and Andy Pettit and all these dudes who were like at the top of their game, and I love baseball, and so I've followed
Yeah, that was
baseball
crazy.
for a long
These
time.
are all people, real names.
But the ones that
I don't think any of those were made up.
the ones that came out and actually said, yeah, you know what, I fucked up, and I did it, and I shouldn't have, and I'm really sorry that I did it, and there was accountability, and there was ownership. Those guys have all been reabsorbed and accepted and even gotten into the Hall of Fame. Every single one of the guys who was like, I never did that. And clearly they did. I
Yeah.
mean, there's like mountains of evidence that they did.
Right.
No love from the fans. Nothing. No Hall of Fame. And these are guys who should have been in who should be in the Hall of Fame. But my theory is this: is like when you own your mistakes and you own your problems and you apologize, you're going to have much more of an opportunity to redeem yourself, for sure.
It's clear that, and everyone messes up. So if someone says, I'm sorry, I messed up, it lets everyone feel okay with their own mess ups.
Yeah.
Also, when you screw up, there's a divergent thing there. Like if you stand by, like I can't even think of it, but if you screw up and then you lie about it or whatever, the heck, there's like a tangent as far as how people look at you from then on out. Whereas when you just say, oh, my head got the best of me and I screwed up there and I said what I didn't mean to say and what I really mean is this, whatever the fuck, then all of a sudden that tangent goes away and you can continue on with the original timeline. You didn't screw up your life.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you think, oh man, I really blew that one and I've got to lie to cover it up or whatever the heck.
But
That's a young
affect-
person talking.
It has to affect the insides of the person who's doing that too. If you're keeping that and you're trying to like save face or look good. And listen, as a teenager, I lied plenty because I was like, I wanted my parents to love me and think I was great, and so, but I still wanted to do the things I wanted to do, and so I'd be like, well, if I just don't tell them, like then they won't know.
Everybody wins.
There's no, yeah.
Did that too.
But but you're right. I mean, that's just what young people do because you think, oh, well, this is how I can get out of it, and
I'll get away with it.
You grow out of that, and you just say, oh yeah, that's me. That's on me. I messed up. Own everything.
Cheers.
Own your stuff.
Cheers to growing up and owning everything.
Heck yeah.
What a great place to end it.
Love it.
What are we plugging for you? Still KellyBlueBook.com.
Kelly Blue Book videos all day, every day. People go to our YouTube channel. We have another great host, Mike Danger, who's so amazing. If you guys haven't watched his videos, he's so good. He also dresses very fashionably, and I aspire to have as many shoes as he does.
Your friend Derek also is usually pretty fashionable, I find.
Derek always looks great.
What about rally racing? Are you doing any more rallies?
I'm
Rebel
not
rally
doing
or
the
anything?
Rebel this year.
Okay.
My teammate is doing it, which is very exciting. So my navigator and Emmy Hall, friend of the show, Emmy Hall's navigator, they are doing it together.
Sweet.
Yes. I don't think I'm allowed to say who they're doing it with or
Fine.
for.
Fine.
But
TBD. Oh, you know what? We reached out to Emmy, so hopefully she'll be back to tell us about it.
perfect. She's doing she's hosting the show again, so she's doing the live broadcast, which she is fantastic at.
How does she do that and race the race at the same time? I don't understand.
She's not competing.
Oh.
So Emmy will not be competing this year. She did
Got
not
it.
compete
The
last year.
co-drivers of yours.
Our two
I
co-drivers are driving
see.
together.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Oh, it's-
stupid
you're
guy
the
here.
slow guy.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Surprise.
But while they are doing that, I'm very excited. I'm actually going to be in Italy doing it's sort of a tour. Let's say there's a competition element to it, but then there's just a regularity rally called the Modena Cento Ore, which I'm very excited about.
This is my favorite meal at Olive Garden, the tour of Italy.
Delicious and unlimited. Bottomless breadsticks.
Garlic breadsticks.
Garlic breadsticks and salad. No, I'm going to be driving. How did we get on that? I don't know.
She was in advertising. Tour of Italy. You're taking a tour of
I'm
Italy.
gonna be doing-
I'll have
yes,
the lasagna,
I'm gonna be doing
the
this-
fettuccine alfredo, and I believe it might have been manicotti. Might have been the third.
Great. I'm in for all of those things. But we'll be driving the continuation Jaguar C and D type cars, which I'm very excited about.
Ooh, okay. Continuation.
Yes,
Okay.
continuation cars. So, gonna get suited up and do a little driving around the Tuscan countryside.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. So, yeah, I've never done a regularity rally before, kind of a classic car rally, road rally. I've always wanted to do one of those. So,
Are you with anyone else? Do you have a co-driver? How does this work?
just someone from Jag. So, a representative from Jag Classic.
It's like a pro-am.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm the pro. They're the am.
Exactly. You get it.
What
No,
is it?
it's just they're just they want one of their engineers in the car. It's like if you go do the melee like with Mercedes, there will always be a Mercedes person in the car with you.
Yeah.
They just don't trust you.
It really might be that. It really might be
maybe.
that.
But yeah, so that's coming up next in a couple weeks, and I'm really excited about that. And
So we got you in the small window when you're home because you were just traveling.
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
I went to Goodwood Revival, which was amazing.
Major jelly.
Boy, I mean,
This was a good year
for a
it, too.
company. Oh, this was a great year. It was hot as blazes, but it was still it was incredible. It's 25th anniversary. Subaru. This is why I love Subaru. They don't have any skin in the game. They're not invited because those cars were never there. But they're just such car fans, and
they show up?
They're just they support this event, and it's amazing.
I
They
don't know if I knew
love.
that.
They
That's
just
really awesome.
love being there. Yeah, it's super cool. So I got to do that, and the LA Auto Show is coming up in November, so
Wow.
gonna get to drive the new Tacoma right before that, and
Ooh.
yeah, so it should be good. Good.
Are you doing anything with the auto show this year?
I might be doing a few tours in the morning with like people, just kind of taking them around and
Yeah.
showing them the floor, which is always fun.
Manuel Carrillo does that every single year,
He
and
does.
it's one of his favorite things that he does every year. He
He's
loves
so
it.
good at it, and it's really incredible too because if you when you're talking to people and you're showing them around, it's amazing how few people have actually been in EVs, in electric vehicles, and you're like, oh my gosh, you have to do the ride and drive, go do it just to experience it and just to see what it feels like. But these are people who are so into the car show that they're willing to come a little bit early and spend a little bit more money to get a little kind of behind the scenes stuff. So it's really
So great.
fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you, because they really want to be there.
They really want to be there. No one's dragging them along.
Yeah. All right. Lyn Woodward, 1N, 2 underscores
That's
at
right.
Instagram, and then
That's right.
Are they all the same?
That's
You're
it.
on the Twitter, but not really.
That's all I'm on. I don't.
And
listen, if
Facebook, don't even think about.
If you join Twitter, I don't even.
It's not
I
even
don't
Twitter
even
anymore.
respond. I haven't been on Twitter for like 3 weeks or something.
I just realized it's not really. It's really Meta and X now. Like Facebook and Twitter are kind
Yeah.
of gone from our
Yeah.
generation.
But
and I
see,
didn't really
I'm
realize
so.
that.
But I'm so old school that I don't even say it in that way. I will always say Facebook and Twitter.
Sears Point,
Sears
same
Point.
way.
We'll
Laguna Seca.
always be friends because I don't
Yeah.
even know the new names.
Like when you watch a show that you have, didn't you record it or did you VCR it? Did you tape it? I tape it.
I taped it. Yeah, I still tape
always
it.
am like, oh, I taped that.
Oh, maybe I record it now.
Do you record it?
Maybe I record
I'm still
it
not
now.
recording. I'm taping. So,
But
weird.
I still go film things. I'm gonna go
Oh.
film. I'm gonna go film.
Oh, I never even thought that
We're not filming.
What are we doing?
Capturing
phoning?
digital.
I'm phoning this in.
Yeah. And I'll beam it to you right
I'm
over.
phone this. Yeah, I filmed too,
Yeah,
and I tape.
it's weird.
It's so weird. But hey,
I love you so much.
I love
there was
you guys
something
too.
going on last time you were here. It just occurred to me.
probably.
I can't remember what it was. something.
Weird and crazy.
Yeah. All right,
And you
so
know
following
what?
all
Wait,
those
you have to
things.
turn that. We
Oh,
turn that camera on?
Yeah, of course.
I love you guys too.
Oh, hang on. Here, let's right in there.
I love you guys too. No, sincerely, I love that you think this is a worthy hour to spend listening to us all yammer. I love it. It's great.
I love anybody who listens to this.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been more lately. I don't know why. We took a little break and then we're trying to tighten it up a little bit.
that's
It's been,
good.
It's good. Yeah.
Sometimes I think a break is healthy.
And then other things are happening outside of this, which I think
Yeah.
is probably helping, raise
Yeah,
whatever, however
absolutely.
it works.
Love it.
You know how it works.
I do.
We love you.
Oh, I love you guys too. Big times.
What was it? There was something was going on last time. I can't remember what it was. I'm going to remember as soon as we're off, and then it's going to be too late. Do you have anything? Follow New Life of Old Nicole, obviously.
Duh. If you're not, you're stupid.
Right. But you have movies on Netflix. Is there anything new?
Nothing new coming. I know the writer's strike is technically supposed to be
It
over.
just ended
but
today, according to the
has it been
headlines I
ratified?
read.
Okay.
They've come to a deal.
They've come
late
to a
late the other night,
deal.
they came to a deal, and they're trying to put that
We
deal
have to like
together.
ratify that, right? Okay. So yeah.
And it doesn't, the actors are still out.
Yeah.
It doesn't
So-
solve anything yet.
Right. It solves one more piece of the puzzle.
I'm very happy that they got this far, though, because we both said, like, next
Same.
year.
I thought
year.
January for sure.
Yeah.
I thought they would freeze everybody out and just really put the screws to them. But
That's what we
I'm
thought.
glad that there was some movement. So hopefully that means the actors are not far behind. But yeah, no, nothing. I mean, I've been working on stuff, but I'm helping a friend edit a book right now, and that's taking a lot of my time.
It
And
will.
Yeah. And I also just bought a sewing machine, and I'm really excited to start sewing.
Oh, that's fun.
Right?
Are you going to make stuff, or are you going to alter the
I'm
things
going
you
to alter
have?
stuff, and I'm going to
Cool.
make stuff. This is my retirement hobby that's starting right now.
Hilarious. Thank you for helping with the GVBC story time and throwing in an opinion there. I feel like we're all probably of the same opinion.
Yeah.
Everything is delicate. Life is delicate, and you got to figure out a way to
That's
get
right.
through. The rest of the stuff we'll talk about on Thursday. We've gone on and on and
Yeah,
on.
people are like, gotta eat my dinner now.
Yeah, that's right. Us included.
That's right.
Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Oh, I got a
Yeah.
thing to do here. Here we go. Thank you for tuning into Late Night Playset. If you like the show, please subscribe and share with your friends. We'd also love to hear from you, so leave us a comment. Tell us what you thought of tonight's episode. It really helps us grow our audience and reach more people like you. And if you want to make a direct contribution, donate to our website, autoimmunityfoundation.org, which is Nicole's MS foundation. Your donation will help us fund research into root causes of MS and other autoimmune diseases as we go down this road and try to figure out what the hell's wrong with you.
I mean,
We're working on it.
the list
We're all a work in progress, kids.
And
We're-
somebody said, keep laughing. I was like, we have to laugh
That's-
to balance out the tears. It
right.
is what it is.
If I don't, I will be crying all the time.
all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only so much.
So we love everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for watching, for being here with us. Lyn Woodward, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you.
Always happy to be here, guys. You're like sunshine.
See you all out there. You are the best. No, somebody made, the Pinstripe Chris painted a regular car to look like ours. Like that's a toy car that's at all the Porsche dealerships, and then he painted it to look like ours. No, but all of the toys are.
Okay. Oh, interesting. They're pushing an agenda here with the Targa.
I think what it is it's not actually a Porsche. So it's got a lot of design things that make it not look Porsche, that he painted over to make it look Porsche.